Today I will show you how the sandbox works in Carried Away. First off, we have this green line that shows us how the first slope looks, and the red dots is how long the level is. And there's a limit on how long the level can be now, of something like 150. You can also edit this line by clicking it and then dragging the yellow dot, and of course you can have more than one. If you shift left click on it, it will turn into a sharp angle like this, instead of a smooth ones here. You can also delete dots by right clicking on them, like this. And of course you can left click and hold to move one of them. And you can't move any dots below the red ones. And if you're doing a move that doesn't work, you will get a red line here instead of a green. So this will not work. This will. You can also change the second slope by just clicking and dragging it. Same thing as per slope. So you can have two different slopes, one in the foreground and one in the background. You can also lock the second slope in place with the first slope. So now the second slope copies the first one. And you can also randomize the mountains in the background. Here you see the mountains. If you don't like them, you can just randomize them until you get some that you like more. Now I built the slope, so now I need to place down my lifts. I can find the lifts under the lifts menu in the bottom left corner. So I click there, and then I get the options of placing 3 different types of lifts: shower lift, drag lift, gondola, and in this case I will choose shower lift and place it down here, and then an end to the shower lift up here. Right click to deselect, and then I will increase the conveyor belt of the lift so more skiers can stand on it. So you just drag this line to make it bigger and smaller. And you just click on it and it pops up over it. You can also rotate the lift stations and flip it horizontal and vertical. Now to place your riders, you find them under the riders menu, and here you can scroll by clicking on the green bar and dragging it to the right and left like this. And you can also use your scroll wheel to move it slowly to the sides. So now I will place some skiers. The lift will pick them up in the order I place them. Then we need to place some foundations, and we can find them under game items, and then click on foundations. You just click here, so they are placed in the environment. You can have them in the air, and you can delete these, you can move them, you can rotate them like this, and you rotate around the point where you can connect, and you can flip them. Under game items, you also find a star. I will place it down here, and I will explain what it does later. You can also place down teleporters to teleport your skiers from slope 1 to slope 2 and back again. So blue flags teleport them away to slope number 2, and the red flag teleports them to slope number 1. So I'll place this flag here, the finish line up here, and the finish line is where the skiers will have to pass through to finish the level. The snow cannon is a special object that you can place down. Skiers will collide with it, but they will not move it, and the snow cannon will move by itself like this and shoot out snow. The snow will affect the skiers and push them back, and you can also build behind the snow cannon. You can also place rocks of different sizes and shapes. The rocks are wide, so you can't build through them, and the skiers will also be affected by them. You can move them, you can rotate them, and you can also change their size to smaller and larger and flip them in different ways. Trees, however, can only affect skiers, and skiers can affect the trees. The trees will move a little bit when a skier hits them. It will bend a little. Signs will only affect skiers because they're really thin. Under fences, you will find a lot of different objects, from like big fences to gates and like small gates for skiers. These will not affect the materials you build, but will affect the skiers. Under other items, you will find houses and benches and some signs and stuff. The houses will affect the materials and the skiers because they are really wide, and the other materials, like the bench and the table, will only affect the skiers because they're not as wide. Now to settings. You can get to the settings menu by clicking on the arrows here on the left side, and here you can change the name to the level, and I will name this Test 1, and you can change the style here of the mountains in the background and the landmass mountains, and here you can change like the weather. You can create a new level that will remove the level you have right now and create a new one. You can load an old level that you already created, and you can save it. So you can save this one here, save, and you can share it. I will show you what this button does later in the video. Objectives. Here I can set a budget on this thing here. So let's set a budget of 5,500, and the check mark shows what I need to do to solve the level. The medal and the column underneath it shows what you can do to gain extra points on the level, or extra medals. So let's collect the star, and we want 3 people to make it to the other side, and we want it to not break to solve the level, and bonus points if none of the skiers get killed. So now we have some objectives. The objectives will show up here under the objectives tab. Now I can change camera mode to the 3D camera. So now we're in the 3D camera. I will place down some trees because trees are awesome. I can place down one at a time like this, or I can use this tool down here in the bottom right corner and increase radius and density. Place more than one tree at a time. So now I have a lot of trees, and I can do it with rocks as well. So now I have a few rocks here and there. So you can change how your area looks. I can drag and change the size of more than one tree at a time, or why not flip them upside down and just have some stubs pointing up, or delete more than one. If you do that, I can undo and redo what I've done in Sandbox. I can clear all what I've done, but I will not do that. This turns off on the grid that has only effect in 2D view and not in 3D view. Let's go to build mode, and I will quickly solve this level. And as you see, my skiers go through this portal here and teleports to this side here. I want to show you one more thing, and that's sharing. You can upload your creation to Steam Workshop. So I can name it, add a description, make it public, friends only, or private, and I can add tags. So I will have it as a private one, and test 1 is for description, and tag will be test 1. And I can choose to upload it with solution or not with a solution. So now I'm uploading to Steam Workshop. This is all. This is a basic introduction of how Sandbox works in Carried Away.